Hi everybody, well it's time for one of our fishing reports, and of course at winter time so much is on offer. Future Malcolm here. Yeah, it's official. We actually have a breakout. OHC, great news, lots of fish there, 6 to 10 pound. They look brilliant, can't wait to get there. I'm out of here. No, I'm not. Actually, I'll go back tomorrow. This world-class fishery has been a wee bit disappointing this year, but I went down to do some market research and some, should we say, product testing with Stu and Chris to have a bit of a look around. And it's surprising just how many people are down there at certain places. I cannot believe how many people can fit onto one small piece of canal right on the bend, or otherwise known as the magic carpet. There was a heap of people traipsing up and down, plying their trade, trying to catch themselves a nice big fish, which had got up there and was obviously looking to spawn, but with a bit of deception can be caught. Now, I don't like being with that much humanity, so Chris and Stu and I went somewhere else, only to be quite disappointed because not only were there no people there, but there was no fish there either. But hey, that's life. We went down and had a look around the Tekapo cages, and the good news was that some of us, particularly Christopher, did extremely well, and I'm not real jealous. I was sad though. I had a bit of a cry because I managed to hook a really big fish and it ran me around a few obstacles, and when I saw it I was quite delighted, waiting for it to come into the net. But of course I became emotionally connected to a fish. Now, some of you have had some big time fishing and you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've had it on it for a while and you watch it up and down and you see it and you go, oh, that's going to look good in the photo, because you know, we let them go, so photos are more important to me than the food. But when they lose, it's surprising. It's just like you've just had a breakup of a relationship. And I got pretty sad. I had a bit of a cry. In fact, I even had a cry as recently as the last few days. So if you do talk to me about it, you might hear a sad story. Anyway, I move away from the point of the whole thing, which is that in fact the canals are still a wee bit tough to fish down there. But I have heard a wee secret, and that is that there is reported to be quite a substantial release of salmon into one of the canals as a net is broken, or certainly got a hole in it, and I've got some excited people coming in and buying their bits and pieces. Now, when you get an escape, it's real easy to catch the fish because of course they're looking to be fed and they haven't got all the wiles of the ones on the outside, the free ones, you know, that they've got to go hide in order to stop being caught. So if you do go down there, a fresh lot of soft baits or some decent eggs make a big difference. Now here's a little bit of a tip. If you are out there and you want to catch salmon in the canals, I highly recommend that you use soft baits, particularly the pinks, the whites, and even the black and gold, which works extremely well. We've just got some back in stock. And if you're catching them on eggs, by far the best colour, in my experience, and I've done a lot of egg drifting down there, is to get something extremely orange. Now, what we went to last time we were down there, Chris was using 10mm eggs. Now that's quite a big soft jelly egg, and he definitely outfished me with all the other things that I was trying, and I was a bit late changing, so I didn't get the kind of fishing that he got in. However, I do know that if you use a very bright orange, it's the great colour for salmon. So the colour of egg to catch salmon is, in my opinion, a bright orange. Now, if you're going to be going down there this weekend, you're probably going to have quite a few people, because you know that social media is not very good at keeping secrets.
All I'm saying, they're going to get a... I'm just... Knock, knock. Who's there?
We are also talking about Lake Coleridge. Lake Coleridge has been fishing quite well, and we're coming up to the shortest day, only a week or so, and we're there, and then all of a sudden Christmas seems much closer. But the fishing there is particularly good. Now, I've had a few questions about what colour soft baits to use there. I think natural colours are probably best, and as I said in the previous fishing report, you're best to be floating these around, just letting them drift and waft where the current lines are coming in. So wherever you've got a small stream coming in, or a bigger stream like the Harper, most important to stay reasonably calm. You don't. It amazes me the number of people who stand in one place and just fish and fish and fish. To me, that's just like a bit crazy. And I know that the fish can move around there, but they don't move as much as you might think. You're better off to go start one place and just keep moving, fresh water, fresh water, fresh water. The number of times you catch fish on the first cast or second cast or turning up to a different place is extremely high. And when you notice that, you realize that it's just like the old door-to-door salesman. You probably heard me say this before. You wouldn't go up on the same door with the same product, knock on the door and say, would you like to buy this? By the time you come up the same pathway again and knock on that same door, you know, you're liable to have the police called and get told to get out of there because you become a public nuisance. And yet, for some reason, anglers think that becoming a public nuisance is just what you need to do. Sure, sometimes fish do actually get so annoyed that they decide that they're going to bite your gear, but more often than not, they put their tail between the legs, as it were, and they will go and hide somewhere else. So make sure you're moving around. You'll get much better results. It doesn't matter which area you're at. I like to rest areas for at least sort of 20 minutes to half an hour before I come back and revisit them. But you know, it just keeps you on the move. It makes everything nice and fresh. But if you get your soft baits out there, depending on the speed of the waterway and the depth of the water, try and use as light as you can to get the job done. You'll find that it gives more movement. Remember, when you hold on to a soft bait, you can't stop it from wobbling. It's always wanting to move. So putting it out there and just slowly retrieving it, and make sure that you stay in really good contact. The interesting thing for me when we do our fishing schools down there is most people think, oh, you know, what can we learn? I'm actually not bad at fishing. And I understand that. And I'm learning all the time, and I've done a heap of it. But this one thing I do know, that the more you stay in contact with the gear, the further you can cast, the more water you can carry, the more efficient you can be by holding everything out there for as long as possible, then the more fish you generally catch. And I know there's days when people just go out there and they stumble over fish. But really, if you want to be a consistent high performer, then looking at those little things, getting them all running well, will give you the best possible results. Well, I hope that gives you a little bit to think about. Get out there. This is the prime time to be out there and doing fishing for those winter fish, which are in fantastic order. Make sure you get there if you can. Remember, there's not much else to do. You can't go mow the lawns and do things outside, so you might as well go fishing. Sounds good to me. Come and see us. We're at 484 Cranford Street, of course, if you want to call on. Have a look for us online at CompleteAngler.co.nz, or of course ring us, and we'd love to tell you the latest news. And don't tell anyone about the escape of salmon down at the canals, otherwise everyone will be there wanting to get an easy feed.
That was a preemptive shh. Just know I have a whole bag of shh with your name on it.